Kensuke's Kingdom, logbook assignment number 2. This assignment goes with chapter 3 and 4. So make sure you have read or listened to both chapter 3 and 4 before you complete this assignment. This assignment is called A Day in the Life. On the Peggy Sue, Michael actually does some of his language arts schoolwork by writing a daily entry in the ship's log. That is one of his daily responsibilities. And you can see a picture of the ship's log on this slide. So he has done his writing on the right-hand side, and he has done some lovely illustrations of some of the sea creatures that they saw on their journey on the left-hand side. And writing in the logbook is actually a really important job on a ship or a yacht in the case of the Peggy Sue. It's important to record the events of the day every single day, and that is one of Michael's big responsibilities. So you're going to do something very similar in your second logbook assignment. You're going to write an actual log entry, just like Michael does in the book. Now, you can make 2 choices on this assignment. The first one is to write from a character's perspective. So to write from a character's perspective, you put yourself in the shoes of one of the characters in the book and write from their point of view. So write about an event that happened in the book from the point of view of one of the characters. Your title should be A Day in the Life of, and then write the character's name. So if you're going to write from Stella's perspective, maybe, I think that would be a really creative way to approach this. You would write A Day in the Life of Stella. Maybe you want to write about what it would be like from Michael's dad's perspective. In that case, you write A Day in the Life of Michael's dad. And again, you'd be writing about an event that happened in the book from that character's point of view. Your second choice, so you pick one or the other. If you don't want to do the character perspective, it's okay. You can do a self-reflection where you'll write from your own point of view. So in that case, your title should be A Day in the Life of, and then you put your name. So that's one trick that will help your teacher know which assignment you chose, because if you put A Day in the Life of and then a character's name, your teacher will know that you're writing from the perspective of the character. Whereas if you put A Day in the Life of and you put your own name, they'll know that you chose to do the self-reflection. Now, for the self-reflection, you're obviously not going to write about an event from the book because you're not a character in the book. So you'll write about an event in your own life. Now, it might be helpful for you to focus on a time when you had an adventure or a time of change in your life. That just might help you come up with ideas more easily. Because that's kind of similar to what Michael's experiencing, some adventures, but also just a period of a lot of change in his life. But you don't have to do that. That just might be an easier way for you to come up with an idea. Here is the picture of the rubric. It's important to keep this in mind as you are working on your assignment so that you can make sure that you are addressing all of the points that your teacher will be looking for. Some tips to remember. So use your visual journal as your logbook. And again, we're going to be coming back to this logbook each week to add more assignments. If you don't have a visual journal, that's okay. We will be handing them out at the in-person event at Windsor Park School on Thursday. But if you don't want to wait that long, that's okay. And if you're not going to be there, that is also okay. You can just use a regular piece of paper for this. And in fact, you can do your writing in Google Docs and then print it out and glue it into your sketchbook or visual journal, or turn it in that way and do the drawing on paper if you like. It's really important with writing that you edit your work. Make sure that you're using proper spelling, punctuation, and sentence structure. Try and use descriptive language in your writing. And then in your illustration, use color and some shading and other techniques to make your drawing interesting and pleasing to the eye. And finally, you'll take a picture of your work very carefully, holding the camera parallel to your work, or even better, scanning it. And you will attach that image to this assignment before you turn it in. If you have any questions about that, ask your teacher. Now, what does success look like for this assignment? Well, here's an example. So this is an example of assignment that a student did in a prior year. They wrote a nice detailed description of visiting a volcano in Costa Rica. And they used really good descriptive language, made sure that their writing followed the rules of grammar and punctuation. And then they drew a couple of pictures to go along with it. And you can see how they drew those pictures to kind of look almost like Polaroids. So I'm going to give you a closer up look at those pictures that they drew. And you can always pause the video and read what they wrote to get a really good understanding of what a very good job on this assignment looks like. If you have any questions, check with your teacher. Good luck and enjoy this assignment.